If you are a church that wants to make more disciples, if you want meaningful growth, if you want people coming to your church that are ready to plug in because they know you can serve them, they know that they'll be welcomed and they belong there, you need to understand how discipleship fits into marketing. And before you can understand that, you really have to dig into what discipleship is. And in this video, I'm reviewing the newest set of books that I read for, honestly, I read it for my church, but the conviction of the Spirit and my soul gave me a revelation that I want to share with you. I hope it makes sense with you today. I'm going to spend just a few minutes sharing a little bit about what I took away from these books, where you can find these books on Amazon, how much they cost is cheaper than you think, and where it fits into the whole marketing prospect. Because if you're following this channel, you know that more people need to know your church exists in order to plug in with you. And if they don't know you exist, when they feel that pull of God, or when they have a new season of life, or just a curiosity, they're going to look at other churches in the area. They're either going to find churches that are ill-equipped to serve them, churches that are false teachers, false prophets, wolves in sheep's clothing. And I want your church, the God-honoring, discipleship-focused church, Christ-centered church and people, to be found, to be found, to be recognized, to be even appreciated and respected in the community, even among the most militant atheists. And it is possible. I had one tell me, I used to think all Christians were cuckoos, but even you changed my mind to at least you're not all bad people, right? That's just a little seed that I pray as this guy, as he moved away, he told me that that continues to be watered in the Christians in his area. Alongside all that, if we haven't met, before I go into this, my name is Justin Nava. If we haven't met, I take full responsibility for that. I run an agency called Nava Church Marketing. We are a discipleship-focused marketing agency. We do not want to just bring people to your church just to bring them to church. We don't want to bring people to church just to boost your numbers and hope we cast out seeds on good soil. I want to bring people to your church that are fully equipped to or fully prepared and ready to hear what God has to say through you. I want to bring people to your church that can be served well by you and are honestly a good fit for your culture. I mean, you wouldn't invite a Chinese speaking person to your English speaking service without knowing that they would understand what you say. You would send them to a Chinese speaking congregation that, God willing, has been planted in your area. And so I want people in the same way that there are certain churches that are better fit to to preach the gospel and disciple certain kinds of people. That's why we plant new churches. So I hope you find what that thing is that you're best equipped to serve. And I hope you broadcast that out to your community. Bathe your community like a warm bath so they know who you are, how you can help them, and what to expect when they go to you. And that's just a little bit about what we do. And discipleship is a full part of that. I'm not making your discipleship journey. Every church has a unique discipleship journey, just like you preach unique sermons, just like you have unique worship sets. I want you to have a unique discipleship journey. Every church is uniquely equipped to uniquely reach a unique group of people. Your discipleship journey is unique along with that. What you can do is take biblical focused discipleship practices, models, and prescriptions as Paul lays out, both just in his writings and in his examples, and we can apply those to how the church is functioning now in the 21st century. And one of the ways that we do that is marketing. So the book I'm going to share with you today is called Disciples Making Disciples. This is put on by the Timothy Method, and I read the USA edition, obviously, because we're a USA church, USA ministry. I live in the US. So this is the USA version. I haven't read any of the other versions, but what this is Timothy Initiative is a global discipleship church planting initiative doing really good stuff. They're having troubles creating inroads into the US because of our unique culture. And because of this unique culture, that's why I started this agency, because there's a unique way to get a hold of Americans' attention, and that's through marketing. Businesses have figured it out. Politicians have figured it out. Ideological organizations and activists have figured it out. But the church is behind the times yet again. So our goal as a church is to take these disciples making disciples, the Timothy Initiative framework, and see if we can apply that to our church model to help grow more disciples to plant churches in their homes or in other meeting spaces. Now, there are two books here, and I have a bookmark that I want to reference in this, so let me put my pen in. So there are two books that I read. I definitely took my sweet time reading them. And first of all, if you're just a new Christian, these are great books to go through. But you definitely need to go through it with someone that is a Paul, so to speak, someone that is a Christian, to go through it together. This is going to help grow not only new Christians, but the old Christians, the Pauls, the disciple makers with them. I mean, it really is. I love the foundation, the way that works. It reads easy. You can see the language. Let me get book one. It's got a like before you talk about stuff, and then let's talk about the stuff, and then let's review and put this stuff into action. I really like that every chapter is laid out in a way that, we kind of understand things. Here's what we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you, and then here's what we told you. It makes it very simple to walk away. It actually makes it hard to walk away without remembering and putting things into action. And it starts very simply. First thing you want to do, just share your story with someone. Second thing, share God's story with someone. And then always have the invitation open if they want to talk about Jesus. And they make discipleship not a program, not an education, not a curriculum. They make discipleship a lifestyle. And that's exactly what discipleship needs to be. And so I highly recommend this for any Christians, new or old, to go through, and then go through it. I think if you're a parent, this is great to go with your kids, especially if you've got newer believing kids. This is great to go through. I'm going to go through this with my daughter as well. I think this is fantastic. Now, where does it fit into marketing? The marketing part of it really, for me, came into book 2. Book 1 is really about like, let's just be good disciple makers. Book 2 is about, let's be good disciple makers that are also planting churches. And when I say planting churches, I'm not talking about ARC systems or raising funds or building a launch team. That's not what this book is about. It's not demonizing that. That's a valid method, especially in the US. But this is going back to what church planting originally was. Let's get a gathering of believers meeting somewhere, probably a house. Okay. So, and then the other thing I like is that actually I have it close to where it was. Church planters don't plant a single church. Disciple making church planner has a larger vision than planting a single church. I mean, really, if you're making disciples, you make disciples. You're a church planner who's going to make other church planners. So you have that long distance thinking in there, and I like that. But where the marketing comes in and the revelation that I had that I want to share with you today, if you don't read the books, I want you to walk away with this. And it was a great reminder, because it's one of those things that I knew in my head. I didn't quite grasp it in my heart and my spirit, but this is it. And ever since I kind of started making these tweaks, I didn't just read these books yesterday. It's been a few months, but ever since I made these tweaks, I've started to see a little bit more of my clients saying, "Hey, people are sticking around because we're focusing on what part of the harvest does the website play, what part of the harvest does the Facebook ad play." And we're seeing really good, because we see 2 principles in discipleship. Now, again, this is out of book 2, and I'm just going to read it here. Partner with the Spirit. It is essential to remember that the harvest is never our doing. It is the Spirit of God who gives increase. And I think that's where marketing, and I've fallen into this trap too, guys. That's where marketing can become a distraction, is that we think the marketing, the promotions, the bulletins, the designs, the copywriting, we think that's what bring people to church. Like they just haven't heard the right words. And that's something that like I'm always saying, it's not about finding the right words and duplicating them. It's about finding the words that are reflective and unique to you to generate some kind of curiosity to get people investigating further. You're not trying to, on your website especially, you're not trying to convert just anyone to your church. You're trying to validate the decision that God is moving and the Spirit is moving in someone's soul, calling people to God. And now they're investigating the church where they can work out their faith. Your church needs to show up. Yes, that's what SEO and traffic is for. But you also need to validate that decision that, hey, we are the church that is best equipped to serve you. You ever go to a church website when you're searching for a church? Maybe you're just like a new one opened up around the corner. You passed it by on the street, or you move into a new area and you're like, let me go look at some churches. You look at a website, you see what they say, you see how they talk, and you're like, this isn't for me. Whether it's because of their beliefs, whether it's because of the lack of information on there, you can read it and say, that's not for me. You are unvalidated. This is not, they disqualified themselves. And that's not a bad thing. That church may not have been best equipped to serve you, and that's fine. What we need to do is get clear on what every church is, so anyone that moves in can see this is a church for the blue collar, this is a church for the well-to-do, right? They need to be made disciples as well. This is a church for families. This is a church for more senior adults, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Every church is uniquely equipped to uniquely reach a group of people. We need to be planting more churches, not just conglomerating. That's what's messed up in America, is corporations conglomerating together and then partnering with the government and screwing with the idea of capitalism. That's not what we have anymore. And so we don't want that to happen in churches. We don't want everything just to become a warm, generic, vague KSBJ. Let's not offend anyone bath. Every church needs to well equip people in their community. That's why God planted you, and that's why God sustains you. So, knowing that the Spirit is the partner, how does the Spirit partner with you in marketing? I believe it's through speaking uniquely through your website. Let me just pull a couple of our clients here. We've got City Point. They know that they're dealing with a community, a heavily church community in the Bible Belt. There are certain people in the community that have questions other churches are afraid to answer. They know that they've got people in their community that are just have been pushed away by fake, phony Christians. This church is for them. This is where you work out real faith. This is where you not only get turned into a soldier for God, to a Navy SEAL for God. Let's go to, I always mess up their URL. Nope, that's not it. That's definitely not it. Let's see, mysmbchurch.org. There it is. SMBchurch.org. Hope and healing begin here, right? If you no longer live in fear and loneliness, this is what this church is about. Like, are you missing community? Are you feeling afraid? There's a lot of kooky stuff going on, right? Well, you can get hope and healing here. All right. If you're just looking for somewhere to feel good, this may not be the place, because this is a hospital, right? This isn't a health club. This place is for the people that want that community back again, and we continue to reinforce that. With what we say on the site. So, this is like coming up with that message of how does this church validate what the Spirit is doing, how the Spirit is moving inside souls. There was one more quote that I wanted to read here. It may have been that other one there. It was the obstacle here. What barriers are preventing others from understanding the gospel message, and how will I overcome these challenges? And guys, the barrier for many people in America is I don't know what church to go to, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to read my Bible. I don't understand what it's saying. A lot of people, if they do have a Bible in their house on the shelf, it's KJV. They don't understand it. God bless them, but they don't understand it. And so they really think the barrier is a church, and we need to remove that barrier when the Spirit is moving in people and saying, this is the place for you. Let's look at one more. Let's do South Bend. Yeah. Okay. So again, for people in this community, looking for a place to belong, looking for people that look like them, hardworking people, the people that want more than a church service. All right. The people that want just a beautiful church to be a part of and to work out their faith with. This is the church to go to. Right. So we want to make sure that we validate people's call, right? In the same way that if someone says, hey, I just accepted Christ, I want to be baptized, you better be talking to this person and being like, well, let's talk about this. Let's make sure you're making this commitment. Let's not marry you off without some premarital counseling. Let's not baptize you without knowing that you've made that inward decision, of which the baptism is an outward reflection. Okay. So we want to make sure that our presence online, on our website, on our Facebook ads, even on our Google ads, when we run traffic to them, we want to make sure that it is reflective of the Spirit moving in these lives. And so that may look like turning your church website less into an evangelical resource and more into a nurture resource, right? We're not here to change minds. We're here to nurture what the Spirit is already doing. The seed may have already been planted. The roots may have already taken. Now we need to harvest that and bring them into our community so they can be made disciples. Okay. Now, you don't have to be a house church model or be angst against the church like a lot of people that read this book, I'm sure. This can very well work with established churches. One of the books that changed my life is Real Life Discipleship, which was a discipleship pathway for existing churches. This is more for churches that want to plant other churches, or Christians that want to make better disciples or make disciples better. But I think anyone can take something away from this. And the best part is not the best part. The best part is the truth inside. But a great bonus is this is only $12. And I don't know about the second book, but you can get both of these books for $25. I can't even get a comic half this size for that price. A lot of books here you can't see. on my bookshelf, I spent that much money and there was not as much gold inside these books. So Disciples Making Disciples, I'll have a link down below in the YouTube description. I should have let off with that. Use that link. That's my affiliate link. I get some commission at no extra cost for you. It just lets Amazon know that you came with me, and I get special bonuses for the amount of traffic that I send. But that's not why I make this video. You don't have to use that link if you don't want to, but get these books. I love these books. Highly recommend them. And I mean, I've already gone through number 1 twice. I'm about to go through number 2 the second time, as we look at how we can take our church's model and come alongside the Timothy Initiative and really kind of do something unique for people that are still unserved in their area. So God bless you guys. If you like this video, if you want to see more marketing tips and tactics with the focus on discipleship, not replacing it, but enhancing it, working alongside the Spirit inside the mission of your church, like this video. If you like this video, subscribe for more content like this. God bless you guys, and I'll see you all next week.